The psychology of drive. What truly fuels human motivation? Ever found yourself setting ambitious goals only to watch your motivation fizzle out faster than a cheap sparkler? You're not alone. Nearly 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February because people can't sustain their initial drive. I'm going to show you exactly how to build unwavering motivation that doesn't disappear when things get tough. The secret to consistent achievement isn't about massive willpower or being naturally disciplined. It's about understanding the psychology behind sustained motivation and implementing specific systems that work even when you don't feel like working. But here's where most motivation advice goes wrong. It focuses on short-term inspiration instead of long-term sustainability. What if I told you the key difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't isn't what you think it is? Understanding the psychology of motivation, the science behind sustainable drive. Ever wonder why some days you're raring to go and others you can barely get out of bed? It's all in your brain chemistry. When you pursue a goal, your brain releases dopamine, not just when you achieve something, but during the entire process. This reward system is what keeps you coming back for more. But here's the kicker. Relying on motivation alone is like trying to drive across country on a single tank of gas. It'll eventually run out. Sustainable drive comes from building neural pathways through consistent habits. Each time you take action toward your goals, you strengthen these pathways, making the next action easier. It's less about feeling motivated and more about creating systems that keep you moving forward, even when motivation wanes. Identifying your core motivators. What gets you out of bed in the morning? No, really. What makes your heart beat faster? Core motivators vary wildly from person to person. Some people are driven by security, others by freedom, recognition, or making an impact. The trick is figuring out which ones actually move the needle for you. Try this quick exercise. Think of 3 times you were completely energized by what you were doing. What common themes emerge? Was it the challenge? The creativity? Helping others? Your authentic motivators aren't what you think should drive you. They're what actually does. And when you align your goals with these core drivers, maintaining momentum becomes infinitely easier. Intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Finding your balance. Money, recognition, deadlines. These external motivators can light a fire under you, but often only temporarily. Intrinsic motivation, on the other hand, comes from within. It's about the satisfaction of the work itself, the joy of mastery or alignment with your personal values. Research consistently shows that intrinsic motivation leads to greater persistence, creativity, and fulfillment. But here's the truth. Nobody tells you. You need both kinds. External rewards can jumpstart your journey, while intrinsic motivation keeps you going. The sweet spot, using external structures, like accountability partners or reward systems, to support goals that genuinely matter to you internally. Finding your personal balance between these two forces creates a motivation engine that doesn't sputter out when things get tough. Building your motivation framework. Setting compelling, achievement-oriented goals. Your motivation framework starts with clear, compelling goals. Not just any goals, the kind that get you out of bed on Monday mornings. Great goals have 3 qualities. They're specific enough to visualize, challenging enough to excite you, and meaningful enough to sustain your interest. Make more money isn't cutting it. Build a $10,000 monthly side business selling my photography by December gives your brain something to work with. Break these big goals into smaller milestones. Small wins fuel big achievements, and your brain loves the dopamine hit from checking things off your list. Creating personal motivation triggers. Notice how certain songs, quotes, or even smells can instantly change your mood? These are motivation triggers, and you need to build your collection. Maybe it's the Rocky theme song, a photo of someone you admire, or remembering why you started in the first place. Identify what consistently shifts your mindset from, "I don't feel like it," to "let's do this." The trick is using these triggers strategically. Keep them fresh by not overusing them, and place them where you'll encounter them during motivation slumps. Developing your personalized motivation. Statement and motivation statement is your personal battle cry, a concentrated dose of why your goals matter. It's not a generic inspirational quote. It's deeply personal. It connects your daily grind to your bigger purpose. Write it down in present tense as if you've already achieved it. I am building financial freedom for my family through work that fulfills me. Make it emotional. Make it true. Make it yours. Read it daily. Revise it as you grow. Let it be the voice in your head when things get tough. Establishing daily motivation. Rituals. Motivation isn't just something you feel. It's something you do. Build consistent rituals that prime your brain for action. Maybe it's a 5-minute morning visualization, reviewing your goals while making coffee, or ending each day by writing 3 wins. The power is in the consistency, not the complexity. Small daily practices create powerful mental pathways that make motivation less about willpower and more about habit. Your ritual might change as you grow, but having one is non-negotiable. It's the foundation that keeps you moving when motivation naturally ebbs and flows. Overcoming motivation. Killers. Recognizing and neutralizing self-sabotage. We all do it. You're making progress toward your goals when suddenly you hit the self-destruct button. Maybe you pick a fight before a big presentation or binge-watch Netflix instead of working on your business plan. Self-sabotage is that little voice whispering, "You don't deserve success." The trick to beating self-sabotage is catching it in action. Notice those moments when you're about to derail your own progress. Are you setting impossible standards, making excuses, dwelling on past mistakes? Once you spot these patterns, flip the script. Replace, "I'm going to fail anyway," with "I'm learning as I go." Create small, winnable goals that build confidence rather than overwhelming yourself with perfection. Breaking through procrastination. Patterns. Procrastination isn't just laziness. It's fear wearing a disguise. When you put things off, you're often avoiding the discomfort that comes with challenging tasks. The 5-minute rule works wonders here. Tell yourself you'll work on the task for just 5 minutes. Once you start, momentum usually keeps you going. Break massive projects into tiny, specific steps. Instead of work on business plan, try write 1 paragraph about target. Audience. Digital distractions killing your focus. Try app blockers or the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes of work followed by a 5-minute break. Most importantly, forgive yourself when you procrastinate. Self-criticism just feeds the cycle. Acknowledge it, then get back on track. Managing burnout before it derails. Progress burnout doesn't happen overnight. It creeps up gradually while you're pushing too hard for too long. Your motivation tank needs regular refills. Schedule recovery time with the same seriousness as your work commitments. That might mean a proper lunch break, a weekend completely unplugged, or a hobby that has nothing to do with your goals. Pay attention to your energy patterns. Work on challenging tasks when you're naturally more alert. Save low energy periods for simpler stuff. The research is clear. Physical activity, quality sleep, and genuine social connections are non-negotiable if you want sustainable motivation. They're not luxuries, they're fuel. Transforming failure into fuel for success. Failure stings. No getting around it. But top performers don't avoid failure. They mine it for gold. When things go sideways, ask better questions. What specifically didn't work? Instead of, "Why do I always fail?" the first question leads to solutions. The second, to a pity party. Create a failure resume, a private document where you record setbacks and what they taught you. This practice transforms failures from shameful moments into valuable data points. Remember that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every no brings you closer to yes if you keep adjusting your approach. Navigating motivation. Plateaus happen to everyone. You've been crushing it for weeks or months and suddenly, nothing. No progress, no excitement, just the motivation equivalent of stale bread. This is normal. Our brains are wired to seek novelty. When goals become routine, they lose their sparkle. Shake things up. Set a completely different short-term challenge. Find an accountability partner who brings fresh energy. Try a new environment or approach. Sometimes, the plateau means you've outgrown your current goals. Review and adjust them to make sure they still excite you. Are they challenging enough? Too challenging? Connected to your deeper values? The most powerful motivation comes from seeing progress. Start tracking even tiny wins to remind yourself you're still moving forward, even when it doesn't feel like it. Cultivating a success-oriented mindset, harnessing the power of positive self-talk. Your inner voice shapes your reality more than you might think. When that voice turns into a critic, your motivation takes a nosedive. But flip the script and watch what happens. Start catching those negative thoughts. I can't handle this project becomes, I'm figuring this out step by step. That's not just feel-good fluff, it's rewiring your brain for success. Try this. Speak to yourself like you would to your best friend. Would you tell them they're going to fail? Of course not. So why do it to yourself? Make it a habit. Each morning, look in the mirror and tell yourself one thing you're going to crush today. Sounds cheesy until you feel the difference it makes. Visualization. Techniques for achievement. Picture this. Athletes mentally rehearsing their perfect performance before they even step onto the field. They're not daydreaming, they're programming. Success. Your brain doesn't always distinguish between vivid imagination and reality. So when you vividly imagine completing that project or nailing that presentation, you're creating neural pathways for actual success. Take 5 minutes daily. Close your eyes. See yourself overcoming obstacles. Feel the satisfaction of achievement. Experience the emotions of success before it happens. Building unshakable self-belief. Self-belief isn't something you're born with. It's built brick by brick. Track your wins, even tiny ones. Finished a tough report? Put it on your victory list. Handled a difficult conversation? Another brick in your confidence wall. Surround yourself with believers, not dream killers. The people around you either fuel your belief or drain it. Remember past successes when doubt creeps in. You've overcome challenges before. That's not opinion, that's fact. Challenge your limits regularly. Each time you push past what you thought possible, your belief in yourself expands. Leveraging external systems for sustained motivation. Creating accountability. Partnerships. Ever noticed how much harder you push yourself when someone else is watching? That's the power of accountability. Partnerships. Find someone who shares your goals or has complementary ones. Meet regularly. Weekly coffee chats, daily text check-ins, or monthly progress reviews. Whatever works. The magic happens when you verbalize your commitments. Tell your partner, I'm going to finish this project by Friday, and suddenly you've got skin in the game. Nobody wants to show up empty-handed. The best partnerships include consequences and celebrations. Missing a target? Maybe you owe your partner lunch. Hit your goal? Time for a mutual reward. Designing your optimal environment for success, your space, shapes your behavior more than you think. Remove temptations first. If social media derails you, delete those apps from your phone. If junk food weakens your resolve, keep it out of your pantry. Then, add motivation triggers. Post visual reminders of your goals where you'll see them daily. Set out your workout clothes the night before. Keep inspiring books on your desk. Your physical space should reflect your priorities. Want to write more? Create a dedicated writing corner that calls to you. Need to exercise regularly? Make your home gym inviting and obstacle-free. Surrounding yourself with motivational influences. The 5 people you spend the most time with determine your direction. Harsh but true. Audit your social circle. Who lifts you up? Who drags you down? Gradually increase time with the uplifters and decrease time with the energy vampires. Beyond people, consume content that fuels your drive. Podcasts, books, documentaries about people who've achieved what you're aiming for. These aren't just entertainment, they're mental programming. Join communities dedicated to your goals. Whether online forums or local meetups, find your tribe. Their victories become your inspiration. Their struggles normalize your challenges, using technology to track and boost achievement. Technology can be your motivation's best friend or worst enemy. Choose wisely. Track everything that matters. Apps like Strava for fitness, Forest for productivity, or Mint for finances create visual proof of progress. That little dopamine hit when you check something off. It's motivation fuel. Set up automated reminders and celebrations. Let your phone congratulate you when you hit milestones. Program encouragement to appear when you typically face motivation dips. Use wearables to gather data on your habits. Sleep trackers, step counters, and heart rate monitors provide objective feedback on your behaviors and patterns. The key: make technology work for your goals, not against them. From motivation to lasting habits, the motivation habit. Connection. Motivation feels amazing, doesn't it? That surge of energy that makes you leap out of bed at 5 a.m. for a workout. But here's the thing. Motivation is like that friend who's super enthusiastic one day and ghosting you the next. The secret sauce to lasting achievement isn't endless motivation. It's turning those motivated actions into habits that stick around even when inspiration takes a vacation. When you first start something, a new diet, exercise routine, or work project, motivation carries you. You're riding high on possibilities. But about 2 weeks in, that's when motivation starts checking its watch and looking for the exit. This is where habits save the day. Habits don't need pep talks or vision boards. They just happen, like brushing your teeth or grabbing your phone first thing in the morning. Converting inspired action into automatic behaviors. Want to make motivation stick? Start small, ridiculously small. If you're trying to write a book, don't commit to 2 hours daily. Commit to writing 1 paragraph. 1. That's it. Small actions bypass your brain's resistance. They're so easy that your mind can't come up with excuses. And once you start, continuing becomes easier than stopping. The habit loop is your best friend here. Cue, routine, reward. Create triggers in your environment that prompt your new behavior. Maybe it's laying out your workout clothes the night before or keeping your journal beside your coffee maker. Then build a reward system that doesn't sabotage your progress. Finished your workout? Great. Enjoy that protein smoothie or 10 minutes of guilt-free scrolling. Measuring progress to fuel further achievement. Progress feels good, really good. Your brain loves evidence that your efforts matter. Track your habits. Not just the big wins, but the daily showing up. Use a simple habit tracker, digital or old school paper. Mark each day you complete your habit, no matter how small the action. The visual chain of check marks becomes addictive. You'll find yourself taking action just to avoid breaking the chain. Don't wait for massive results to celebrate. Acknowledge the process. Completed your habit for a week straight? That deserves recognition. Remember, motivation gets you started, but measurement keeps you going. When you can see your progress, even tiny steps forward, you create a feedback loop that generates its own motivation, and that's how temporary inspiration transforms into permanent change. Motivation is the driving force behind all achievement, but it requires deliberate cultivation. By understanding the psychological principles that govern motivation, building a personalized framework, and actively addressing motivation killers, you create a foundation for sustained action. Developing a success-oriented mindset and establishing external accountability systems further strengthens your ability to maintain momentum when challenges arise. The journey from motivation to achievement ultimately depends on transforming motivated actions into lasting habits. When behaviors become automatic, they no longer require the same level of motivational energy. Take one step today toward building your motivation framework. Whether that's clarifying your core values, establishing accountability, or creating a more supportive environment. Remember, consistent small actions fueled by unwavering motivation are what ultimately lead to remarkable achievement. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Your feedback means the world. Want more content like this? Subscribe now and join our community. Share this video with a friend who needs to hear this message, and check out the links in the description for more resources and exclusive content.